guys, welcome back to Arry the Stag. TR Tony here in the garden, minding the shop as usual. Lovely summer's evening. And just to report, we've had a visit this evening from Andy Morgan, who's been refettling a Borg Warner 35 gearbox for our Triumph Stag. He's on his way now and going to be delivering it very soon. It's an exchange arrangement, so the old one that I showed you fairly recently is on its way back, or will be on its way back with him to be repaired. But let's see what he's done and share in some of the interest and complexities of the Borg Warner unit. This is Andy Morgan. I've come along today to have a look at our Borg Warner 35 box, which you can see here on the trolley. We did a bit of a video yesterday, so that's R1, and maybe just a few top tips, Andy, if that's okay, without giving away all the trade secrets, of course.
Well, there's no trade secrets to give away. There's a few things you've got to be wary of if you've got an auto in your car. The main thing is fluid. The fluid has to be right. You've got to use the right type, you've got to use the right amount. Too much is not good. Too little is just as bad.
Not good.
It's very good. A litre and a half down, that'll fail in 40 miles.
Really?
It'll just kill it completely. But the most important thing is what's in front of it. If the engine isn't right and it's not producing the power, the transmission can't then transmit that to the wheels. So you must make sure your engine's in good order before you start condemning any transmission. So you've got to make sure that all your timing is right, all your sort of ignition is right, and make sure you've got the power to create the torque through the transmission. So a lot of problems basically are engine related or engine setup related or cable setup. Either throttle cable itself is either too slack, so you're putting your foot to the floor and the cable's not opening your carbs, which then in turn affects this.
Which is your kick down, isn't it?
That's right. So this has to be set right as well. But the most important thing is fluid, because it does so much. It doesn't just lubricate everything. It's got 5 jobs to do. It creates the torque. It lubricates, it cools, it cleans, and it's very important. So that's often overlooked. And there's a certain way it's got to be checked. First protocol is just make sure you got some in before you start. If it's dry, then you're in a bit of bother. Make sure you got fluid in. Start your car up, nice level ground. Get it up to temperature. It's a 2-person operation really. You need somebody in the car, basically for safety, and somebody at the other end. Get it up to temperature, get it running. Take the dipstick out and leave it out. So get your engine running. Clean it all off so it's nice and dry. Really dry.
So we can just see there.
And that's it. There's no fluid in this one, but just make sure the drier you can get it, the better, because you're going to get a better reading. So when it's up to temperature, nice and warm, get your engine idling nicely between 600 and 650 RPM. Have somebody in the cab, go through all your gear selections, start off in park, go through all, spend a few seconds in each, finish off in park, and once you're in park, then you've got time for a quick dip, straight in, straight back out. You should see 2 lines. One line will be hopefully somewhere in your good part, but you'll have a dry part. If you haven't got enough fluid in, you should sort of see a line about here, and then you see another line up here with a dry part. So the lower part is your fluid level, and this wet part up here would be splash from the fluid coming back into the transmission. So that's what a lot of people get mistaken about, is they see a high level and think there's lots of fluid in it. But that's why your stick has to be dry, because otherwise you miss it. If it's wet and you pull it out, you will just see a complete wet stick, and you think there's plenty of fluid in it.
It's all right.
So make sure your dipstick is bone dry, and when it's up to temperature, engine idling 650 RPM, go through all the gears, straight in, straight out, and hopefully you'll get a level there. Add in small amounts, clean off, same thing again, same process, go through all the gears again. Another dip, and out you go, and get that level spot on. So that's very, very important. And also the fluid for these is type F or type G, which is M2C 33G Ford specification. Make sure it's got the right fluid in. If it hasn't, you can't really get everything out by doing a pan change. You're only going to get 3 litres out of there. The rest is in the converter. The only thing you could do is just keep changing the fluid, unless you know what's in it originally. But
so have you got a capacity? I guess there is a capacity
from rebuild. There is a capacity of 7.5 litres, but I've found it's edging more towards 8.
Is this?
Time you get the converter filled and the oil cooler.
And when you do the converter, does that kind of fill up of its own accord as you're filling it, or
I've added a litre to yours already.
Okay.
So it's
you
not
prime
dry.
it. Okay.
I primed it as well, yes.
Yeah.
But if you did happen to run it dry, yes, it is going to take time to fill that.
Okay.
So because yours is already in situ, I've added a litre in there
Thank
already.
you. Yes.
So you have to take care now when you come to fill it up the first fill.
Yeah.
To make sure you won't get all the fluid in one go. It just won't take it.
No. Okay.
So you're probably going to have to add around 4 or 5 litres.
Yeah.
Start the engine or turn it over.
And go through the gears.
It's going to pump the fluid through into your converter.
Right,
And you can
okay.
add the rest then when it's running. So.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
All right. So at least you got, if you put 5 litres, you're going to have 6 litres in. So get it running, get it to temperature, and then go through all the checks as we said.
Yeah.
And then just add the small amounts then to the right level.
Right.
You know the right amount, which is 7.5, 8 litres.
Yeah.
So make sure you've got that to hand. When all that's in, you know you've got the right amount in.
Yeah. Superb. Okay, so having a bit of a debate earlier, Andy, weren't we, about what because I called it a flywheel, but actually, then we referred to it as a drive plate, but it's actually called something else. Is that right?
Flex plate. Yeah,
It's a flex plate. Okay,
yes,
righto.
You could call it a drive plate as well.
Yeah,
yes,
I suppose
but,
you could. Yeah.
The correct term is a flex plate.
Yeah, okay.
And then you've got a ring gear attached to that.
That's
so
it. That's it.
And the
Good.
flex gear does exactly. A flex ring plate does exactly that. It flexes.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the torque of it as it moves. So.
Oh, excellent. Good. Okay, and just point us around some of the parts of the gearbox. So here's your kick down.
That's your kick down cable. Yeah. Again, that has to be set correctly. With yours, I've got some settings for you, which I'll email across.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Triumph actually is quite unusual because it's got a very small amount of cable showing to start.
Yeah.
Others have got sort of this amount of cable to start with.
Okay.
But and a lot of the times this crimp is set into correctly. So yours is about right there.
Okay.
Sometimes this is out too far and crimped there.
Right.
So if that is the case, when you were to select a gear, you get a harsh thump because the pressure's too high at that time. So if you imagine you're already opening the cam inside the transmission, which is raising the pressure.
Right.
So you engage your gear and you're going to get a thump in the gear, and it's all because this is set too tightly. So that's good to see. It hasn't been crimped. I don't crimp mine either. So I'll give you the settings to work with for that.
Thank you.
There's your inhibit switch.
Inhibit switch.
To start.
So we're saying this is reverse and
park and neutral inhibit, or start in park and neutral and inhibit in starting in other gears.
Yeah.
You've got your dipstick filler tube, as you know.
Yeah.
Filling through there.
Yeah.
Breather, often that is blocked. That
Okay.
can cause. There's a pipe to go on there, wasn't there? That one
Yeah,
there.
we took the pipe off.
Sometimes that is blocked. Sometimes it gets caught on a hot object, such as an exhaust, and it sort of blocks it. If the breather's blocked, this is a pressured casing, if you like. The pressure's got to go somewhere. Usually goes through here. If it doesn't, it'll find a weak point through a seal
And blow through
that. So make sure your breather's always good to go and not blocked.
Is that fairly clear, that one? It looks...
Yes, clear, yes.
Yeah.
These you don't usually give the problem, it's actually the pipe itself. Some are looped to the dipstick tube and some are not.
All right.
Cooler lines, that's 2-yoke oil cooler from the pump.
From the front.
Converter,
Yeah.
And then that's your return back to the transmission.
Excellent. Cool.
That's your rear brake band adjustment.
Yes, I got that wrong yesterday. That was so that's a brake band adjuster.
Yeah.
So what does that do?
It adjusts the rear brake band, basically the clamping force on the planet set.
Yeah.
This is very difficult to access on the Stag. As far as I know, I don't think there is an access point on it.
No.
So I think a lot of owners have actually drilled sort of a 30mm hole.
Like an inspection hole to
through
get
the
in
tunnel,
there. Yeah, okay.
There's one on this side for the inhibit switch.
Yes,
and
that's
you can get at the adjustment on a
That's
BW65.
Right, I remember.
But on a 35 there
There's
isn't
nothing
one.
there.
No,
Okay.
so it's sometimes a good move to put a hole in to adjust it.
Good top tip, yeah.
And everything else is pretty self-expanding. You've got your rear mount going on there, and
exactly.
speedo pinion in the back there. For
Yeah,
your
the
cable
speedo's
drive.
just, where is it? Just on that face there, isn't it?
That's the one.
Through there, yep.
That's it.
Brilliant. Good. Okay, top work. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So another really good top tip Andy was talking about was the banjo here, where your dipstick connects to the sump of the gearbox. Perhaps just talk us through that, Andy.
Yeah, sure. This one here, you noticed, has got copper washers on.
Yeah.
They're not the best thing for sealing this type of union. It's supposed to have a seal called a doughty seal, one here, one the other side.
Yeah.
It's a metal ring seal with a rubber insert.
Okay.
And that gives a good clamp on the banjo itself.
Yeah.
So when you bolt it up, you sort of don't get any leaks from that.
No.
These tend to leak a lot.
So you can see it's been dribbling from there.
Yes, that's usually a cause, and it is
a bit loose and
loose
slack
anyway,
as well.
but not the best. They crush. They are called a crush washer.
Yeah.
Whereas the doughty seal is a sealing washer. So
Right.
it's very important to use those if ever you've got to take the dipstick off.
Yeah.
Otherwise you will get leaks.
We'll get leaks. Yeah.
Accordingly, yeah.
Okay. And any tips on doing the bell housing when you come to bell housing on the engine?
Yes. difficult to fit the transmission under a Stag.
Yeah.
Usually a 35 can be put in by putting the torque converter to the dry plate, flex plate first, put the bell housing onto the engine, and then you can offer the transmission to both, which is a good way of fitting it. It's a very cumbersome item otherwise.
Yeah.
But if your engine is out, then
it's easier just to do it
put
on the bench.
On, fit it on. A little tip for fitting a torque converter is to try and fit the converter that way. You risk damaging the front pump seal, which is in there, and if you do damage it,
I did see that yesterday.
You'll have a leak permanently from start. There's also a very soft metal bushing in there that can get easily damaged. So the best way to fit them is to stand the transmission upright.
Okay.
I won't turn this converter over because it's full of fluid. Turn the converter over. Drop it down onto the lugs and the splines, and then rotate it
until
quietly.
you feel it drop in.
It'll drop in.
Okay, right. Really good tip.
Give it a spin. There is a measurement. Put a straight edge across the front here.
Yes.
Measure down then to that lug. Once it's fitted, and it should be 9mm from that face to that lug.
To that lug. Okay.
And you should know it's fitted properly then.
And you should check each lug, I guess, to make sure.
Yeah, spin it around, measure different points, but once it's in and you've got 9mm at one point, it'll be the same on all the others. That's the best way to fit it. Stand it upright and drop it in.
Really good tip.
You know that's going to be fitted in rightly. Because it's easy to get that wrong, and it's also easy to damage the seal.
In manhandling all sorts of stuff.
That damages the seal going in, and it can also damage the soft bushing as well as it goes in. So, best way to fit that, stand it upright, drop it in.
All right, mate. Superb. Thank you.
That's okay.
All right, guys, so really positive to see the brand new gearbox. It is still under wraps. We've run out of time this evening, so we will be slow revealing it probably at the weekend shortly to show you what we've got, but it all looks very shiny from what we can see in between the plastic wrapping, which is all very carefully wrapped. Andy, a really great guy, knows his stuff inside out. I'll put his contact details on at the end of this video too, so you can see his details if you want to give him a call. I'm sure he's a very knowledgeable guy, happy to help over the phone or whatever. And yeah, a good egg. So we've now got a complete engine and a completely brand new refettled Borg Warner box that we know will work and has avoided some of the potholes and some of the issues that he was talking about during the video. So all exciting, all to play for. Good. Okay, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Arry the Stag very soon. Cheers for now, guys.